Hey guys, it's Killer Manila here, and I'm going to do a tutorial for getting your clips, putting them into Sony Vegas, and then color correction and my render settings. So I have an AverTV HD DVR. Well, actually I have a Capture HD H727, but it's exactly the same thing. It's just the European version. So first thing I do is open Fraps, go to Movies, and you want to record your gameplay. You want the frame rate at either 29.97 or 59.94. I'm recording this video with Fraps, so I'm recording this at 20 frames per second, but you'll get ghosting if you don't have it at 29.97 or at 59.94. Needs to be one or the other. Now, this capture card does all the processing on the computer, so you may well have to use 29.97 rather than 59.94. Also, the file size is half as big if you use 29, and it's just as smooth. And I think YouTube downscales it to 30 anyway. You'd only really want 59 for slow motion. So once you've got Fraps open AverMedia Center. You go to TV, Live, and you want it full screen, minimize Fraps. So we've got, this is our PlayStation. Once you've got you want to make sure you have you don't have monitor area desktop thing enabled, or when you move the mouse you'll get the bars at the top and the bottom. I've got it enabled because I'm recording the desktop. So once you've got your clip, you stop recording. It will go to whatever file you told Fraps to put it in. So, oh yeah, another thing is I use a line-in cable from my PS3 to record the sound. So I click record external input, and at the moment it's on my mic because I'm recording this, but it would normally be on line-in. Make sure you have your mouse cursor hid in the video, else you'll have a mouse cursor on top of your gameplay as well. So once you've got everything you want recorded, you can close the AverMedia Center or just minimize it. Really doesn't matter. Open Sony Vegas. That'll take a few seconds to do. So once you've got Sony Vegas open, you want to find the clip you just recorded, or not necessarily the one you just recorded, but a clip. So I'll just put in a piece of Modern Warfare 2. It'll take a while to load because Fraps records in 3.9 gig chunks, so also your video will probably be split into about 4 parts depending on the length. So it'll take a while to open it because it's such a large file. Your clip's loaded, drag it in. Want to go to File, Properties, and if you want to, you want your project to be matched to the what you want your video to be at the end, if you see what I mean. So I want mine in 720p at the end, and it's pretty much the best way to do it because the raw file is 720p for this AverTV capture card and for the HD PVR as well. So doing 1080p doesn't actually increase the quality, and I've tried both. It just 1080p doesn't work quite as well on YouTube either. It need a much faster connection to get it to run through, and it doesn't look any better, even though the actual file size is the same because the file size is completely on the bit rate. So this preset, or the one it's already in the Sony Vegas, it still has all the right settings for what we're using. So you can check start all projects with these settings, hit OK. So you'll have black bars around it. Right click on the video, properties, uncheck maintain aspect ratio so that it allows you to crop the black bit out, and disable resample because that takes out the ghosting. So in fast movement, if you've got it on, it will ghost. I don't know why, but if you disable it, it'll be fine. So okay, it will stretch it out a bit. Then you want to go to pan crop, which is the crop icon thing on the video, and move and just shrink it down till it fits properly into your video. I've already got a preset for it, so once you've done that, your video will fit there if you wanted. So if I had a GB dispute or something, I'd just render it as it is now without adding all my color correction and things. So if I wanted to render it now as a small file, I'd go render as main concept avc/AAC. What that gives you is MP4. So MP4 is a smaller file size than WMV, which is a really good thing, and the quality is just as good if not better than WMV, so it has a really good compression. Then click custom. You want for 720p, you want custom frame size 1280 by 720. You want 29.97 frames per second always, because that's the same as if you record in 29.97, that's the same as the original file. If you record in 59.94, you obviously just type 59.94 in there, but 29.97 will work better on YouTube. Make sure that allow source to adjust and both of those are disabled or unchecked, else the video won't fit in the box properly when it's rendered. Pixel aspect ratio 1, else it will letterbox it. Leave those as it is. And for very low quality, well, not low quality, just a small file size, so that will look marginally better than a Dazzle with 4 million bit rate. So you want to click variable and 4 million in both. So that's just if you want a small file size, and then you'd put audio 44,000 and 128,000. Best. You press OK, but that's just for small files. So what I do to a normal video is apply my color correction now. So I'd go to the video effects tab, color corrector, studio RGB to computer RGB, put that in, make it a bit darker, make the colors more bright. Boost mids, put that in, it'll brighten the whole thing up a bit, and then look for sharpen, and I've got a preset for it already, but what you want is 0.600 sharpness, so you should have 3 effects, and close that. That's for a natural look. It makes the colors look better than they are originally, and it makes it look like it's a higher resolution than it was. It kind of clears it up, all the sharpness, and the color correctors make the colors pop a bit more than they would normally. That's if you want a natural looking picture rather than a clearly modified picture. So that's good for any map really. So I'll just take that off and show you what I use on maps like this normally, or brighter maps if I want a nice effect. So I do put sharpening again, but you want heavy this time. Then change that to 0.700, just so that it doesn't look like it's been, like if you put your sharpness too high, everything goes kind of white. So you want to lower it a bit so that it looks normal. Soft contrast, soft moderate contrast, that will make the brights brighter and the darks darker. So drag that in. You can see there's a huge difference there. That makes the video look nice by itself almost. And then the same color correct as we had before, studio to computer. Put that in, make the colors look a bit more bright. And boost mids, because the other two presets make the video look really dark, so you need to brighten it up again. So that's really nice color correction, especially for bright maps like Terminal. Makes them look like really, really nice. So once you've applied whatever color correction you want, with me the audio is slightly ahead of the video, but the thing is because of the way I record the sound, I don't use HDMI to do it. So you want to zoom in somewhere where you're like, well, shooting someone, which is there. You can see the audio started sometime before I took my first shot. So drag, hold on, need to make sure you press Ctrl U to split it. Split the audio and the video from each other. So first frame where you shoot, drag the audio in line with it. There. So now the whole video will be in sync. Or the whole section of video will be in sync because they've perhaps split it into sections. So once you've done that, go to the end, zoom in and just cut the extra bit off. So split and delete. And then you can render it. Or if you want to do commentary, just hit record, speak into your mic. But if you just want to render it, render as custom again. Same thing we did last time all the way through. But you want your bit rate between 10 million and 20 million. So the higher the bit rate, the better the quality, but the bigger the file size, so it takes longer to render and longer to upload. So I use 12,500,000 normally. It's like my standard quality, which it has a pretty big file size actually, but the quality isn't reduced too much from, well, the original file. So if it's say a 5-minute video or something, I'd just render it out like that. If it was a 10-minute video, I might drop it to 10 million. And if I just want a really, really high quality clip, I'll put it up to 20 million. Over 20 million, I can't really see the difference in quality, even before or after it's uploaded. So I don't see the point in going any higher than 20 million, but that will give you a really, really nice picture if you render with that color correction at 20 million. So if you did it in 1080p at the start, just change that to 1920 by 1080. But I don't think there's any difference in picture quality. There's no difference in file size either. But it doesn't work as well on YouTube, so I just stick to 720p. So 1280, 720. And then and then audio, same thing we did before, and make sure that's best, and click OK, and just save the file. So I'll render it out and show you what the picture looked like at the end. Hope you enjoyed my guide. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Thanks.